Whenever I'm working towards a goal, I always tend to seek out some kind of sources of motivation. Like for me right now, I'm really focused on my fitness journey, and I tend to reach to a lot of different sources of motivation to keep me going. Like I'll go and look at a bunch of different fitness influencers on Instagram. I want to go shop for a cute new gym outfit. I'll even be like motivated by a piece of clothing that I want to wear, like a trip that I want to go on because I want to look good in my bikini when I go work out. But the more I look to these things, the more I notice a lack of desire to actually go after the goal itself. It's almost like when you don't like a certain food. Like for me, I don't like salmon. I can add all the seasonings I want. I can add all the sauces and the flavors and stuff, but eventually I'm gonna get tired of the seasonings, and eventually I'm gonna start to realize like I just truly don't like salmon, and I'm gonna eventually get even more tired of it. And that might be a really bad analogy, but I think for me, motivation is very similar to that. Because when it comes down to it, motivation, like feeling motivated, cannot be the reason why you do something. All sources of motivation are temporary. And when you're trying to work towards a goal consistently, eventually you're going to be left with the task at hand that you need to get done, and you're not gonna have any motivation. So all you're left with is a choice of whether or not you're going to do it. And so that's why I say you need to stop looking for motivation in order to get things done. I think motivation can be good and can be helpful in some ways, and we'll kind of get into that later on in this video. But I think for the most part, when you're constantly seeking motivation, it's going to be actually detrimental towards you getting towards your goals. It's very, very easy when you're constantly looking towards other people as sources of motivation. It's very easy to start comparing yourself, and it's very easy to start then wondering like, okay, am I on the right track? Am I actually doing the things that I need to do to get to where I want to be? Because this person is on a totally different timeline than me. And then we start to forget how unique we are, and the fact that we are every single person is different from someone else, and therefore our timelines, our journeys are always going to look different than someone else's. And then I think a lot of times what happens is we start to get too focused on the results behind our goals. So you're looking at someone else for motivation, and you are like, oh, I really want that apartment, or I really want to eventually have the same amount of followers as them, or whatever. You start to become super focused on this end result, and then it takes the joy out of the process, or like the journey of you actually getting there. So it starts to take you out of the present, which I just think is very, very detrimental to any goal that you're trying to work towards. And I was really reminded by this by a friend of mine who posted this on her story a few days ago. She actually had someone who asked her for motivational tips or advice that she lives by, and her response was that she doesn't have any. The key to reaching your goals is not feeling motivated, but designing your habits so that you are doing the thing whether you feel motivated or not. So one really easy way to do this is scheduling your habits. So for me, with working out, I know that once I wake up and eat my breakfast around 6 a.m. to 7 a.m.-ish, I'm gonna be in the gym. That's just like my time of day that I know it's time to work out. And so for me, it becomes less and less of a question of, do I feel like working out today? Am I motivated? Do I wanna go look at some influencers and maybe get some like inspiration, whatever? I just know 6-ish, 7 a.m.-ish, it's time to go to the gym. My mind is like kind of already trained to get dressed, to start getting ready around that time. So scheduling your habits at a specific time of the day, or maybe even a specific day of the week, depending on what the habit is really gonna help you train your mind to, again, just start doing the thing rather than think about whether or not you feel motivated to do the thing. And then you can start figuring out how often do you want to do that thing. So for me, I know 6 to 7 a.m. I go work out every single day of the week, like during the weekdays. Same thing with my videos. I know every single Sunday and some Wednesdays, I will upload a video. That will really kind of help you start, again, doing without thinking. Because again, the goal is to decrease the amount of time that you have to sit with yourself and think, do I feel like doing this thing? Because you're just gonna start doing it. And it might even help to have some kind of tracker that you keep maybe in your journal or your digital planner that will help you keep track of this. I just started doing this again. I used to do this all the time, but I like to keep this in my bullet journal. So every week I will like have like little dots that I fill out every single time I work out. So that alone can be motivating. Like wanting to go and fill something out or cross something off your to-do list or whatever, that can be a really good source of motivation that's not coming again from some kind of external factor, because it's coming from you doing the thing. And that kind of leads me into my next tip, which is to make your motivation a reward rather than a precursor to you doing what you need to do. So instead of you buying yourself a cute new gym outfit to motivate you to go to the gym, use that cute new gym outfit as a reward for you reaching specific fitness goals. Or maybe someone that you like to watch who motivates you, maybe you go and watch their content after you've completed the things that you need to do on your to-do list that day, rather than you watching it to motivate you to go complete the things that you need to do on your to-do list that day. Does that make sense? Hopefully it does. And don't get me wrong, like that is not to say that you should use rest as a reward for being productive, because rest should never be a source of motivation for you, because it should always be a non-negotiable. But I will say some forms of self-care that you maybe have to save up money for, or that maybe take some more time. So maybe doing like a spa day or even like a vacation, that can be a form of motivation that you use as a reward. I am still one who is all for, watching your favorite creators who inspire you and that you look up to. I still have things that I look to that give me sparks of motivation that make me want to continue going. But I really encourage you to sit and observe what is motivating you and why it is motivating you. What are things that you look to as sources of inspiration, and really take note of whether or not you think that they are positive or detrimental to you reaching your goals. So maybe ask yourself, like, are you using certain sources of motivation as a form of procrastination? Are you watching a bunch of creators live their dream lives and telling yourself that it's inspiring you to do the same? Or is that just holding you back from actually working towards your dream life? And then maybe ask yourself, like, do you have an actual plan for executing the life that you want to live? What are your goals and how specific are they? Do you have a specific schedule? Are your goals tangible and reachable, and can you track them? Or are you just saying that you want to go and do something by the end of the year and not really making an executable plan to do it? Be very, very honest with yourself and observe all of these things, and it's really going to help you start to see whether or not your motivation, the motivation that you're looking to, is helping you or not. And then I think it's also really important to ask yourself whether your sources of motivation are motivating you or educating you. If something is teaching you a tangible skill to help you get towards your goal, then that's helpful. That's a positive thing. So for me, with like my fitness goals, like the influencers that I go and look to for fitness inspiration, a lot of them are posting workouts that I can go and actually like go and do. So for me, instead of going on their pages and like looking at them like, oh, I just wish I had their body, like whatever. No, I'm gonna go on their page, screenshot their workout, close my Instagram app, and go and do the workout. Don't sit there and harp on the person and like the life that you want to achieve and the aspirational parts of someone's content, because then you're just gonna get caught up in the comparing and the wanting to be there and the results and all these things, right? Go and take the lessons that you need from whatever it is that you're learning from and being motivated from or whatever, and go and apply them towards your own goals. And then again, don't get too caught up in someone else's method of doing things, because you have to remember that you have to go on your own journey yourself. It can be very tricky, but I just think it's really important to find that balance and to be very aware of and conscious of how much you're consuming in terms of motivational content. The only way that you can actually get to where you want to be is by doing. You can consume as much educational and motivational content as you want and take all the tips and tricks from someone else and try to apply it to your life, but you are the only you on this earth. So the only way that you're actually gonna get to your goals is by you going on your own unique and probably equally challenging journey. You have to make mistakes and fail a few times and learn lessons and figure out how to pick yourself up. You have to do all that stuff on your own. No one else is going to relate to your own journey the way that you do. So do not look to motivation as a way to get you to do something. Use motivation as maybe a reward or maybe some kind of helpful spark, but don't try to find that drive through motivation, because external motivation that comes from other people or other sources or material things, they're never going to fulfill you, and they're never actually going to push you to getting to where you want to be. You have to find that within yourself internally, and the only way to do that is by being present. So whether you want to reach certain fitness goals or you want to go work for yourself and become an entrepreneur, be a content creator or whatever, you're going to have days where you wake up and you're not feeling it, and again, you're just going to be left with a choice with whether or not you want to do it. So build your habits, train yourself, train your mind so that you do things automatically, whether or not you feel like it, whether or not you're feeling it that day. Like for me today, I didn't even feel like filming this video today, but here I am. Show up for yourself every single day and stop giving yourself so much of a choice. Again, rest when you need to, but make tangible, actionable goals that you can reach and show up for them every single day. And eventually motivation will come from within. Your love, your passion for what you do, you being present in your own journey is going to be what pushes you along the way of getting to wherever it is that you want to be. So hopefully that makes sense. I really hope you guys enjoyed this video, and I will see you guys in the next one.